You guys doing today? Shout out to everyone. Appreciate each and every one of you for all your support. Don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe, and share. You can support this channel by hitting the thumbs up. I will appreciate it because that's how we actually get the information out there. That's how other people can get to know about these videos and this channel. So on this channel we try to encourage and give people ideas how to do things simple. So just hit the thumbs up, share this channel, don't forget to subscribe. I will truly appreciate it. On this beautiful day, I'm going to propagate this sugar apple plant right here. The thing about it is this sugar apple plant, I tried to aerate it, but it didn't work out because the sun was so hot and I don't know, maybe it just didn't work out. So today I'm gonna try two other methods. I'm gonna try a method that somebody recommend to me, and I'm also gonna try another method that I use with different plants. Someone recommend to me using honey, and cinnamon. Using honey and cinnamon, mix it, and that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing. But I'm also gonna be trying the natural way as well, which is just stay tuned. So I have a bowl here with a little cinnamon inside, and I also have some honey. So what I'm natural honey, pure honey, that I'm actually gonna be mixing together. But first, I'm gonna be showing you this is the sugar apple tree. And why am I propagating this sugar apple tree? This sugar apple tree is a tropical plant. It cannot stand the cold weather. It prefers the heat. Now, this tree is getting taller and I don't want it to get that tall because I want to keep it in a container, because growing it in a container, I got to take it in out of the weather. So I don't want it to get too much a big tall tree. I prefer it spreads, and then every year I'm gonna just cut it back. So what I'm doing today, I'm actually cutting the limbs. I'm gonna be cutting off the top, cut the limbs, and I'm gonna show you how I scrape off the top, the the the, the skin, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm doing. Some of them I'm gonna push them right back down into the soil in the container, and some just like that, and some I'm gonna be dipping it in honey and cinnamon mixed together. So now we want to see the result. So we're gonna do this, and believe it or not, you will see the result in the future. All right, so I don't want to try it one way, I want to try it both ways and see what actually works, and I will be giving the update on these projects. Okay, so this is actually the sugar apple tree right here, and if I cut it here, instead of it go tall, it's gonna start spreading, and that's basically what I want. I don't want it to go up. I'm gonna cut out the top, and then I'm gonna propagate these limbs. Okay? So you see, now what is going on here now, it's in a more stage where I can control it. Other than that, it will continue go up in the air. I don't want it to grow tall, I want it to grow short. So when you do, you're gonna start spreading out instead of going upwards. Now, what we could do now, we can, these same limbs, we're gonna try to propagate these same limbs. So what we're gonna do here, this, we're gonna cut this right there, and we're gonna cut this one right here as well. Okay, right? Oh wow, look, this limb had a sugar apple right here. Produced, you see it was producing flowers, but it's too late in the season. It's definitely too late, so I'm not even gonna be going that route. So what I'm doing, I'm clipping these. You see, that was a flowers for sugar apple. So it's a plant that's already producing. It produced a lot of flowers this year, but it really did not hold on any. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be trying to propagate these that I can get more sugar apple. So maybe I can give a friend one. No, look what I'm gonna be doing now. I'm gonna be taking this and I'm gonna be scraping off. You wanna scrape off the skin. You wanna make sure you scrape off the skin. And you want, after you take off the skin, you wanna scratch up the, scratch it up. So you're getting off all these. Why am I doing it this time? Because the weather is still good. I don't want to wait till the weather get cold to now start doing this. So the weather's still good, so it have some time. Maybe before the weather change, maybe it might already start rooting. Who knows? Hey, good morning, Liz and Campbell. How you doing? From Trinidad? Big up Trinidad. Shout out to Lizanne from Trinidad in the house. Shout out to you. Big up to Trinidad. Yes. You welcome here, sis. You welcome here anytime, all right? Shout out to you. So basically, you see what I've did here. Now, what I'm gonna do with this one, I'm gonna just put it in the soil. In this same container, I'm gonna just put it down in the soil and just leave it there to propagate for itself. So we're gonna try another way now, because we wanna make sure that what we're doing, something has to work. So we don't wanna try do everything one way, and we wanna make sure we do different ways that something can work. If one don't work, the other might work. All right. So now, like I said, someone recommend me to using cinnamon, and honey. Mix it together and getting rid of all the leaf. It don't make sense keeping on the leaf them. You don't want to plant focus on the leaf. What you want to plant focus on now is rooting. That's what you want to plant focus on. Okay, so now we cut off all these. Now we're going to do the same thing we now did. Scrape off the skin, outer skin like this. You have to get off the skin. After you get off the skin, you see all these stuff on top that remain. You scratch it up, you scratch it up. And you scratch it up and you remove them. All right. Now, this one, I'm gonna be using honey. This one is a mixture of honey and cinnamon. We're gonna mix this together and then we're gonna dip it inside the honey and cinnamon, and then we're gonna add it to the soil. And after we add it to the soil, what we're gonna do, we're gonna wet them and we're gonna leave them, but we also wanna make sure we have them in a cool place, not direct sun, because right now we're looking for to root them. All right, so as you see, it looks a little messy, but this is the cinnamon. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this and we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna turn it around and make sure every part of it have cinnamon and honey. All right, so this is the result here, cinnamon and honey. What we're going to do now, we're going to take this and dip it in the same container. You see it, right? Just another side of the container. So that's two. I show you two different ways of how I'm propagating my sugar apple. This is a sugar apple tree plant. Two different ways I show you. So now I'm going to do with this, I might do two from this one. Two from this one. You know what? I'm gonna just use this one, because if I use this one and I able to get this propagate, this will be a nice size. Now, when you propagate your plant, it produce way faster than if you use the seeds. Okay, I'm growing a lot of them, a lot of plants from seed study, because I think it's a good idea. But seeing I have this plant already, I decide to cut it, because it was like 7 feet tall. So I cut it down. So now I cut it down, it's gonna be spreading, and at the same time I can propagate the limbs them and get more plants from it. So for the people who growing sugar apple tree, or your neighbor might be growing a sugar apple tree, you could ask them for a limb, all right, and you could propagate your own sugar apple, or you could use them, start them from seed. But I think people, you have to learn these skills. You got to learn to grow your own food. You got to learn to feed your family. Things is getting expensive. Things is getting expensive, and you got to figure out how to save a few dollars. Okay? No, this is one more. And this one, I'm actually going to just put this one in the soil. Yeah. I'm actually going to just put this one in the soil. I'm not going to put no honey on top of this one. So you see what we're doing here, right? We what we're doing, we're scraping off the outer skin. Okay. Hey, life from scratch, how you doing? What's going on? Good to see you. Thank you all for coming through. So now, and what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna scratch it up a little, because I already get off the skin. You can make two cuttings from that. From this one, I can make two. Okay, well, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna make two from this one, and I'm gonna put one directly in the soil, and I'm also gonna use one for the with the cinnamon and the honey. So that's a good idea. At least more options, right? Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that, life from scratch. The thing with rooting, it's a faster process to grow, to produce. It is. But I also love growing them from seed. So, okay, I'm gonna do as life from scratch say I can get two with this one. So I'm gonna definitely use it and make two. So I'm gonna cut this one right here. I'm gonna cut this one right here, and I'm gonna add it in the soil. Then I'm gonna use another one And actually, okay, so this one, I'm gonna add it to the soil, which is in the same container with the plant. Because at the end of the day, this plant's gonna be going indoors. So these gonna at least be going indoors with it. So if they propagate and they start rooting next spring, I'll be taking them and putting them in a bigger container. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just taking this and I'm pushing it down in the container. And I'm leaving it there. Now, we have this one left. This one I have some honey and cinnamon mix up here. I'm gonna dip this one inside of there. All right. So you see how this one is? Okay. Now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna spin it around in the bowl, cinnamon and honey. So this is it right here. And I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it into the container as well. Okay. Oh, I still have a next one here. So you see guys, just like that, I have, and look this one had on the flowers here too. So it's a plant that already reached the stage of producing fruits. It just didn't hold on any this year, and I think it's too late for even trying to worry about that right now. So I'm getting the plants ready for next season. So this is the next one that I'm going to put together. So just like that, guys, I've pruned the sugar apple tree, and I use the limbs them to try and propagate them that I can get more trees. So for a person, say for instance you want to sell fruit trees, this is something good you should learn, because you can able to use the limbs, even mango limbs. You could use mango and do the same thing. You could use the limbs them and you could propagate them and you could get different plants. So you could even, that's a way of even making a few dollars. But these skills, and it's not hard, you just gotta try. It might seem like, oh no, that's too hard, I can't do it. No, it's simple. And if you try once and it didn't work, that doesn't mean you give up. You continue trying until it works. Okay, I'm gonna dip this one in cinnamon as well. this is it right here. I dip it, it's cinnamon, mix cinnamon, honey, mix it, and I paste it around the plant, all around the body, and I put it down in the soil and just leave it there until we see it start to push in leaf or it start pushing root. Now is a good time because the weather is still good. I don't want to wait till the winter to do this because the weather is different in the winter. So just like this, guys, just like this, I have cut down my sugar apple tree. In that form, it will spread instead of growing up. I also use the limbs, take off all the leaf from the limb and make cuttings from them. So now I'm expecting to get 4 more, 1, 2, 5 more sugar apple plant from these limbs. Very good skills to get yourself accustomed to, because these type of skill will make you save a lot of money and help you feed your family. Because you know sometimes you might have a friend and you go by the friend and the friend have fruit trees. You could just take the fruit trees and plant them together and make a compound and is a form of how to feed ourselves. It was detained for that. All right. Now, these same leaf that I have here, what I'm gonna be doing with them, I'm gonna be throwing them around the same plant, around their roots. So these leaf will break down and feed back the plant. And it also create a mulch for these same cutlings because we're still dealing with real cold weather. So this is what I'm doing. I'm creating, I hope you see it. And I also have a spinach growing right in the container itself. Right, so just like this, you feed in your plant at the same time. And you're creating a mulch. Okay, so let me show you guys what I now did. This is what I now did. This is the sugar apple plant right here. I These are the cutlings them that I'm trying to propagate, which is one. This is a have 5 cutlings I'm trying to propagate. I take the leaf, and what I did with leaf, I add them into the container. So now when the sun penetrates, the sun is gonna keep the root them cool and damp. So when you wet them, you're gonna keep the damp so it stand a chance of pushing out the root. Or they gotta have some kind of moisture. If it's too dry, it's gonna be more difficult. But if it's not, if it have that moisture, you know, water create life. Without water, ain't nothing gonna happen. So that moisture is very important to be in this container, and this gonna help keep that moisture until the fall. In the fall, if you doing this in a cold zone, because this is a tropical plant, you want to get these indoors before that that cold weather begin, because these plants cannot stand cold weather. Remember that. These plants cannot stand cold weather. So if you're propagating in a cold climate, please take them in before that before that frost. If you're in a tropical, it's a whole different ball game. All right, sugar apple. This is a sugar apple plant. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video means something to you. Please like, subscribe and share. And on my channel I have tons of video, over 2,000 videos. You can always check them out and you can always learn something. Peace, love and blessing. Thank you all.